If you can imagine your dream life in perfect detail, but can't get yourself to work for 20 minutes straight, you don't have a motivation problem. You have a protection problem. And the third reason behind it? That's the one quietly killing your self-respect. Let's break this open. Right now, inside you, there are two identities. One sees the future clearly: money, freedom, impact, status. The other hits snooze, scrolls, says later. Same person, same brain. Monday morning, alarm rings. You check one notification. That becomes 10. 10 becomes short videos. Now it's almost 10 a.m. You haven't moved, but in your head, you've already made it. That's not random. Your brain is rewarding you for imagining success. Here's your first shift. Visualization releases dopamine, but dopamine isn't for achievement. It's for anticipation. So when you vividly fantasize about the future, your brain feels like progress already happened, no action required. And that's where most people get trapped. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. You're not lazy because you don't care. You're stuck because you care so much that failing would hurt your identity. Let me explain. Most ambitious people don't aim small. They want influence, wealth, recognition, to be somebody. That gap between where you are and where you want to be, it stings. And your brain has one core job: avoid pain, seek safety. So when growth feels uncertain, it redirects you toward comfort, phone, couch, snacks, noise. Not because you're weak, because your survival wiring sees risk and says, abort. Now here's the dangerous part. Every time you avoid the hard thing, something subtle shifts: your self-image. You stop seeing yourself as someone who executes. You start seeing yourself as someone who delays. And identity drives behavior. You don't rise to goals. You default to self-concept. So the real battle isn't productivity, it's identity decay. And this is where perfectionism sneaks in wearing a suit. You don't want to start, you want to start brilliantly. If it won't be impressive, you'd rather wait. Sounds high standard. It's fear. Fear of proof. Because once you try, you get data. And data can confirm something scary. You're not world-class yet. So staying in planning mode feels safer. But here's the twist that changes everything. Failure bruises your ego. Inaction erodes it. Failure says, I'm in the arena. Inaction says, I'm hiding. Everyone you admire was willing to look average longer than everyone else. That's not motivational fluff. That's math. Now let's make this practical. You don't need a new personality. You need a smaller first move. Your brain panics at build a business. It doesn't panic at work for 10 minutes. Zoom in. One page, one email, one rep, one paragraph. Small enough that resistance can't argue. Because action creates evidence, and evidence updates identity. You will almost never feel ready. Action first, motivation second, not the other way around. Now, quick pattern shift. Look at your environment. If your phone is within reach, you will reach. That's not weakness, that's friction design. Make distraction harder, make progress easier. Phone outside the room, desk clear. Same work time daily. Predictable beats dramatic. And one more thing most people won't say out loud. Consuming self-improvement content feels productive. It's often sophisticated procrastination. You don't need another explanation. You need reps. Your early attempts will be awkward, unpolished, embarrassing. Good, that's the entry fee. Volume builds skill. Skill builds confidence. Confidence builds momentum. And yes, you will relapse, miss a day, fall into scrolling. That doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're human. The only difference between disciplined and undisciplined people: one resets faster. They ask, what's the next small step? Not, why am I like this? Now we close the loop. There aren't two versions of you. There's one, comfort-trained or self-respecting. 5 years will pass either way. The real choice isn't success versus failure. It's short-term relief versus long-term pride. When this video ends, don't overhaul your life. Prove something small. 10 focused minutes. That's it. Because lazy isn't your identity. Avoidance is a habit, and habits can be retrained. Start small, stack it daily, and watch which identity gets stronger.